to Ross Recording Studio. I'm Chuck, and this is how to put together a great sounding home recording studio on a budget. Today we are going to take a look at the Ableton Live software. We did the unboxing of the Focusrite interface that allows us to get our music, instruments, vocals to the computer to upload to YouTube. Basically, our channel is going to focus on uploading music videos, talking videos, educational videos to YouTube on a budget. Some things we spend more money on for the better equipment that we have to. Other times we cut corners when we need to. Today we're going over the Focusrite, connecting it to the computer, and some of the tips and tricks that I've learned from other YouTubers. Not that they've missed, but there is so much to learn that it's really overwhelming when you get it. I do have a little bit of college education in Adobe Premiere from the past. That was before Final Cut was even thought of. That gives you an idea how ancient I am. I was going to college back in the 80s using Adobe Premiere. Back then it was the best software to use. Today it is still, I would say, one of the best software, though I hear there's a couple up-and-comers that are giving those guys a run for their money. But we'll get to that after, because we're going to focus on Ableton Live software with Focusrite. First, I'm going to assume that everybody's got a general knowledge of connecting equipment with USB cords, various stuff like that. That's the simple stuff. We don't have to worry about that. It's easy. On the back of it, you connect the USB cord to your computer, and then we go to their website. Is go to Focusrite.com, and from there you can download your software. This shows you the deals that they have, the bundles. $159 for the Scarlett 212, 2 in, 2 out. The bundle is $209. I got the Waves vocal bundle with it. My voice needs as much as improvement as possible when I am singing. Once you download your software, Ableton Live pops up. And as I said, this is going to be beginners for beginners. It looks like right off the bat I am seeing a pretty good reflection from my lighting. And it looks like it's right in the key places. When I first downloaded the software package, I did not download it from Ableton because I purchased a Novation Launchpad Pro, and the software came from that site. Ableton does have their own website, but make sure you spell it correctly, because there is an Ableton, and it says light and all this stuff, and it has nothing at all whatsoever to do with Ableton.com. ABLE. So sometimes I'm dyslexic and spell things wrong, and I found out the first time right off the bat. Then I realized I spelled it wrong in Ableton.com. But to download your software, I really would not know how to do it if you bought the Focusrite without an instrument to go with it. As you see here, I purchased a Launchpad Pro for $300. I saw a video that had a Launchpad Pro Mark III That one seemed to be the newer one, and yes, it is. Then I found this was on sale for $200. I paid $300 for it. I was livid. So the only way I could feel justified was to upgrade to the Launchpad Pro Mark III, pay the extra, return the Pro for $300, pay the extra $50 for $350, and got the Mark III. The one thing I really loved about the Pro is the round buttons that lit up. You can't judge a piece of equipment by lights and fancy buttons. This one has more buttons. They're square. They're not quite as fancy with the round circular lighting, but it is a way better piece of hardware. The one thing that makes it so much better than the Pro is the fact that it has session mode on it and chord mode. Chord mode allows you to not really bypass the theory of music, but if you incorporate the theory of music and what the chords can do on this, it's very useful to help you learn music theory, and it also allows to do things that keyboards couldn't really do unless you were a master musician with tons of equipment, tons of effects. Once you go into here, as you see, you're looking for your bundled software. You click on bundled software, and all this software comes up. And this took me over 2 days to download all this software. The reason it takes so long is every one that you download, you have to wait a couple minutes for the download, open the download, install the download. After you install the download, you're directed to the website, and from the website, you're going to have to register your product. Launchpad Pro, we can click on that. I've already done all this. There it is. That gives you Ableton Live 10 Lite. That gets you going. The reason it's free software is Live 10 Lite allows you to record 8 channels. If you upgrade in the future, which I am going to do, then you can have unlimited channels. So after you've downloaded your software, there's a few things that I found that were not told to me. Researching video after video, you finally get it. But in a nutshell, I can tell you that the most important knob and feature is the Preference tab. Preferences is under Options, and I use this tab so much, and it seems like everybody uses this tab so much. I don't know why they don't have a standalone button. Click Preferences, you're good to go. I've tried the keyboard shortcut. I cannot get the keyboard shortcut to work. So now that you have your preferences up, in order to see if you're locked into your software from the Focusrite, in your driver's type you should see ASIO. That's telling you that is Focusrite's driver and audio device. I do have a home theater. Sometimes I like to switch the sound from the Focusrite using the studio monitors to get it into the home theater speakers. I do that by simply clicking MME DirectX. That locks me into the old driver card. Now I can tell if it's working or not by pressing the test tone on or off button. This is my favorite button. I use this thing constantly to see if I've got the correct connection, the correct drivers. Sometimes it can be confusing. There should not be any test tone now because I am not using Focusrite's driver. So first thing, you go up and you click on Focusrite's driver, the ASIO. And you should see the audio device ASIO and we're going to click that to Focusrite USB. Input configuration, don't need to really worry about that unless it's not working. Hardware setup, you don't really need to worry about that, but you can take a look at it. The one thing that is very, very important that I find out to see if I've got it connected right, if all the cords, if everything is working, is the test tone button. When I click test tone on, I should hear a tone in the studio monitors. And I have it connected correctly. So if I went up and I clicked on the ESO, it still works. I don't know what the Focusrite Thunderbolt is yet, but it doesn't work on that either. If I go back, click on the old drive, that would be coming out of my home theater, which I do have turned off at the current time. So just to make sure I've got it right, I do click on the Focusrite USB. And if you close the box out with the test tone on, you will continue to hear the test tone. So now we know the system is working. We can turn it off. Now, great, we got to get music in here. There's two ways to get music into the system. One, we can connect a microphone or a guitar cable or a keyboard cable direct into the Focusrite, and that will work without any software. Hello? Let's see if we have any signal out of our condenser mic. No, we got it powered up. Oh yeah, we got plenty of feedback. So we don't need any instruments or anything to make the Focusrite work, but it would be nice to have some musical instruments. And what we do is we take the Launchpad Pro Mark III, plug the USB cable in, all the lights light up, and we're going to go to note mode. We'll get into all this more later. You really won't hear any sounds yet because I don't have anything activated. So I can push all these keys and there's no sound because this is not a musical instrument. This is a MIDI instrument. This instrument will not make any notes by itself. So what we do is we can go up here and just to show you a simple drum kit, we double click on drum kit. That lights up a light red. On number one, what I click for the drum kit appears in the first box. It's the 808 core kit. To show me I'm a beginner's beginner, I got no idea why that was even playing. You click once on it. Okay, we get down to the drum pad. Since I have chord modes or note mode selected, our drum pad consists of 16 drum pads. This should work on the bass drum. And if you look up on the screen, it tells you what each pad is. Kick, rim, snare, hi-hat, cymbals. So if we go down here, bass, snare, cymbal, everything is working. Let's crank it up a little bit. Appears to be working with the Focusrite. We are going to get into more into Ableton on another video, which all these tabs up here mean. Play, record, taking your inputs, your drum sounds, where to put them on your top, number 1, 2, 3, or 4 channels. Again, this is only 8 channels in on Ableton Live until you upgrade. And I am very excited to do the upgrade. I just don't have the budget currently for an upgrade. Too many other things that are more important at this point in time to purchase to get the studio up and running. When I have the budget, we will be upgrading. We just wanted to get to the most important features of Ableton Live, and one of them that I found again is the Preference tab. Now that I have Launchpad Pro hooked up, if I go up here I can see it where it says link MIDI. I can do quick test tone, everything's working. I click the MIDI, that shows that I have Launchpad Mini. Launch Key Mini is hooked up, but that's not activated yet. That's just showing you the equipment that I have, and I only have the Pro Mark III and the Launch Key Mini. Mark. I don't think it's a Mark. I think it's just a Launch Key Mini. I may be wrong on that. If you look down here where it has the 2 ons, Launchpad Pro Mark III, which is currently lit up and running. Now, I don't know why there's 2 here. Let's see what happens. So, the one that's not reading very clearly, Launchpad Pro Mark III MIDI input. You can see now I've lost everything. Back to audio, test tone, back to MIDI. I don't hear any sound from my pads. So, once in a while, this happens. I should say once in a while, almost all the time. I will unplug Launchpad Pro Mark III. I will plug it back in, and it should work. But it's not. And these are the technical difficulties that we have. As a beginner, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. I'll click them on, disconnect it, connect it. And these are the problems of a beginner, because it's still not working. And as you saw, it was working till I clicked one switch. We'll try syncing everything. I don't know what we're syncing it to. Audio. Live. I'll change that back to the ASO for shits and grins. Link MIDI, unplug it, plug it back in, go to note mode, still nothing. Do a manual. So everything is working on the program. What's not working is the Pro Mark III. Back to audio. We have test. Go back to link MIDI. Start, stop, sync. We'll try turning that on. Imagine that. I press one track off and I can't get the damn thing to turn back on again. You can't imagine the frustration level. Something so fucking simple. So generally what we do here is we just reboot the entire computer. Reboot everything right from the start. Alright, so we have rebooted the computer. We unplugged the Launchpad Pro Mark III while the computer was off. Make sure you do this. We are going to close YouTube out. I wish I had just minimized it. We will open Live back up. Unexpected quit while you're working on it? No, we do not want to recover anything. There is no red light. On channel 1. Now we will plug the Launchpad Pro Mark III in. The lights are flashing. Our record light did not come on. So we are not connected. Back up to options. Back to preferences tab. Back to audio. Test tone. We have test tone. So we are good. We are up and connected with the Focusrite. Let's take a drum track and drag it into the MIDI slot, number 1. Our drum kit appeared. It's working on the computer end of it. Let's get out to our Launchpad Pro Mark III. Now, I click Note. Our drum pad appears. It should be live, up, running, and functioning this time. Let's try it. Okay, it's working again. So as you can see, be very careful with what buttons you turn on and off in the Preferences tab. Linking MIDI again. I've got everything turned on, and that should not be. You don't need all those buttons flashing. I just was getting confused, frustrated that things were not working. Remote. We're going to turn all the remotes off. And just briefly explain, the remote allows you to map the Mark III controller to, example, a keyboard. But that is a whole nother video in itself. So we don't need the sync on. We are not syncing anything. The drum machine or the Launchpad should still be working. We do not need this output, I believe. I don't think we need this one. I don't think we need this one. I don't think we need this one. So we don't need any of the outputs. Looking at this middle one, it worked before without it. And the top one was the one that quit the sound. So I'm not going to touch that one again. Everything is up and running and working. But as you can see how easy it is to make one mistake and then get everything up and running again. I hit that one switch and then I could not hear the launch pad, and as you saw, no matter what I clicked, it would not work until I physically quit the program, rebooted the computer. So that is another useful step. Do not be afraid to close the program and reboot the computer. I do it all the time. If something freezes, doesn't work. Preference tab, audio, test tone. Link MIDI allows you to see what you have connected as far as MIDI devices. If I have a microphone is not MIDI. That is going to be connected into the instrument side of the Focusrite. So going back to Ableton, I do have a microphone connected right now, so let's see if we can get the microphone up and running. Taking a guess, I believe it should be in 3. I say that because on the Focusrite I have it on the left side input. Turn the power on. This 48 volt switch allows you to get power to condenser microphones that don't have batteries in them. We will turn the volume up a little bit that way I can actually hear my voice coming through the monitors with feedback. It's not an instrument, so I'm not going to push instrument. Let's click the record button. Hello, testing, 1, 2. The meters are working, but they're not lit up in green. And if I went up to the monitor and switched in, now you can hear me coming through the studio monitor speakers at a little bit of latency. Monitor auto, we'll keep it on. Hello, testing. And if I click it off, hello. You hear the voice in real time, but just not as loud. Turn up the volume on the output of the Focusrite. If I was to hook up an instrument into the right-hand channel, that would be number 4 on audio. Since they're not a MIDI equipment, a guitar would also be plugged into audio. A keyboard that works on its own power, own keys, that's going to be over here. But anything you have that's MIDI needs to be into the first and second channel. That keyboard is a mini keyboard. It will not work without it being connected to a computer. So to wrap this up, on lesson number 1, options, preferences. Link MIDI key on the left and audio. That allows you to give your test. If you do not hear your audio with your test tone, something is not right. You can use your headphones or you can use your monitors to check that. And on your driver's device, it is going to show you the driver that you need for the Focusrite. and the audio device you're using. Link MIDI that will show you all your devices you have connected, on or off. We will do another video on plugins. When I had my bundle for the Focusrite, it came with a Waves. It didn't come with it. I purchased an extra Waves vocal bundle to come with it. This is where you will activate the Waves bundle. And if I go over here and I click plugins, we will see the Waves bundle in there. It also has the Waves Vox vocal synthesizer, which is very cool. No, my glasses are so bad I can't even read the numbers in there. I thought I saw Vox. There it is. Vox stereo. And that is the Vox synthesizer. Very cool. Alright, so I hope that helps anybody that's getting into making a home recording studio and that's currently bought a Focusrite or Ableton. A lot of the information on work is universal. You don't have to have a Focusrite, obviously, to have Ableton Live. A couple things that we're actually missing about what I consider to be one of the most important tools is the Options Preference tab. I seem to go there all the time to check, make sure that everything is connected. Hopefully that helps a lot of you guys out. And we will continue. I will probably do plugins next. Let's see, what will be next time? We will go over the top rows, adding a couple features into audio 1, 2, and 3, maybe connecting a guitar. We'll try that. We'll try not to say as much in future videos. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching Ross Recording Studio. I hope that, you found something informative, useful, educational, and thank you very much. Have a great afternoon.